It was a year of ups and downs in Supervisor Dave Roberts' office. Supervisor Roberts is here to talk about all of that and more. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
Well, let's first of all address basically what happened last year. A lot of attention on your office. We had a more than $300,000 settlement from former staffers who accused you of abusing your power, complained about the work environment. How are you moving on from all of that controversy that existed?
You know, last Tuesday I celebrated my 3rd anniversary as the 3rd District County Supervisor. We've had a year of successes. We had some turnover with the resignation of my Chief of Staff, but for the last 9 months I've had a Chief of Staff that has brought in a team second to none. We've had really a year of accomplishments, and I'm so excited to talk not only about what we accomplished last year, but what we really want to focus on in the coming year.
And some, with all of that going on, we're calling for your resignation. You are not stepping down, correct?
There's no reason to step down. You know, I am the 3rd District County Supervisor. The voters chose me to be there. I believe, from what I am hearing, they're very pleased with my performance. You know, I'm giving them real solutions to real problems, and that's what they wanted their supervisor to do. Many people have said, we haven't missed a beat. We continue to serve the people each and every day.
With that now a few months behind you, is it hard at all to focus on the priorities in your office?
It's never been hard to focus on the priorities because I know clearly why the voters put me in office in the first place. They wanted to make this great county even greater. And when I went to the County Board of Supervisors, I said I wanted to focus on enhancing our mental health services. I wanted to enhance foster care and adoption services. I wanted to try to preserve open space where we could. We've been working on all those things and even so many more things.
And let's talk about some of the mental health priorities. Laura's Law, I've spoken to you about that before. Explain that law and what's going to be happening this month.
So Laura's Law was really one of the big victories, I think, last year. I partnered with Supervisor Diane Jacob. It was something that I was quite passionate about for a number of years. What the law says is, and it was originally passed in 2002 in the state of California, and each of the 58 counties had the option whether they wanted to implement it or not. But what it is a tool for families in a toolkit of choices to try to get help for a loved one that has mental health issues. I was just talking to a woman in my district just the other day, and her brother just passed away, and she called me to thank me for implementing Laura's Law. She said it won't help her family, but she knows it will help other families. The way the law works is that a family can petition to have a loved one brought before a judge, the black robe effect they call it, to try to compel that person to get the help they need. Specifically how we're implementing it, we just issued the contract after request for proposals. So the contract has been let to a contractor that will implement it now. We're hoping in the next few months it will be out and actually be in operation. And we believe it's going to really add to the options that families are going to have that have a loved one affected by mental health issues.
And not everyone has been open to it. It's been a very long process to get to this point. Why such a delay?
Well, there's a number of reasons. One, it's legally very complicated. Two, it's very costly. And we needed to figure out all the issues. One of the things I've learned the last 3 years as being a county supervisor, you really have to do your homework. You have to figure out how to advance something that makes sense, but that you can get others to buy into. And I think this is just one of the many success stories that we did to advance this. Another one that I'm just so excited about is that we kept the Palomar Forensic Health Center in Escondido open. You know, people read in the newspaper it was going to close. This is a center that provides compassionate care for women and children that have been sexually abused. I said this center cannot close. I partnered with Supervisor Bill Horn, Sheriff Bill Gore, and District Attorney Bonnie Dumanis. We came up with a solution working with Palomar Health to keep that open. So now people in North County have a place to go after they're attacked.
And let's go and talk about suicide prevention on a related topic. There's going to be a vote later this month on some recommendations. What are we talking about here?
So last year in 2015, one of my many initiatives was to try to put a spotlight on how we could reduce suicides in the county of San Diego. We experience over 400 a year. and many people called on me to do something about it. So I went to the Behavioral Health Advisory Board that makes recommendations to the Board of Supervisors, and I said, would you set up a work group, and could I co-chair the work group? They agreed to do it. We met for 5 or 6 months. We came up with 10 recommendations on ways we believe we can work to reduce suicides. Just the other day, the Behavioral Health Advisory Board made a recommendation to fund the first 2 of the 10 recommendations that the Board of Supervisors will be voting on the end of this month. One recommendation is to expand psychiatric emergency response teams throughout the county. Another recommendation is to put in services for transitioning age youth, foster youth, and for LGBT youth to get care that they need so that they won't commit suicide.
And also there is a new crisis residential center that's going to be opening in the North County. When is that supposed to happen? Where is it supposed to happen?
So partnering with Supervisor Bill Horn, who was our chairman last year, we asked the county to do a survey throughout the county where was the greatest needs for mental health and behavioral health services. And it showed that North County really needed these type of services. And so we're working on a number of initiatives. One is to build this facility on East Valley Parkway. Construction has already started. This facility should be open by June of this year. I'm just so excited how quickly it's moving. And what people don't recognize is many people end up in emergency rooms. And just yesterday, the CEO of Scripps had a great editorial on how our emergency rooms are being abused by people in mental health crisis. But what would happen is that once these people get the treatment they need in an emergency room, they'll go into this residential temporary setting 2 or 3 months, get their care stabilized while we try to find them housing. And just last month in December, the Board of Supervisors approved $10 million to find long-term housing solutions for patients that have severe mental health issues.
And any other new projects coming up that we should know about in the next few months?
So, suicide prevention, we're going to be trying to implement all those activities. We're working with Supervisor Ron Roberts and Councilman Todd Gloria on HIV/AIDS reduction strategies. We're going to be coming out with them. We're working on a park up in Escondido. We're working on saving Webb Lake and Rancho Bernardo. Fire protection in Scripps Ranch. So we've got a number of issues. Over on the coast, we're working and making investments in the San Diego Botanic Gardens, which the county owns the land under. So I've just got a huge number of projects, and these are what I hear from my constituents every day they want me working on. And I'm just really blessed to have a top-notch staff that's helping me implement all these initiatives.
All right, Supervisor, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. I'm Melissa Mecija with this week's San Diego Newsmakers. I'll be back next week.